Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got some summer reading recommendations for you. Right, so today we're talking about some summer reading recommendations or books that I think would be perfect for a summer read. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. The first book I'd like to recommend is going to be Cherry Picked. This is the third book in the Sunday Brothers series, but these ones you can all be kind of read as standalones if you would like. So this is following Hawk Sunday, who is the youngest brother in the Sunday family, and it's also following Jack, who happens to be Hawk's oldest brother's best friend. And Hawk has always kind of had a crush on Jack, and he actually works with Jack at Jack's restaurant. And one day he's finally fed up with Jack not taking the hint, so he just finally says he likes Jack, and he kind of asks him to take his B card, and it doesn't go well. So then it falls into a whole bunch of summer shenanigans where the town, it's set in a small town, so everybody knows everybody and everybody knows everybody else's business. And it's very Gilmore Girls-esque in that way, but also it's following Hawk as he kind of becomes a nature activist and is trying to save part of the forest around their small town from a corporation and big development. And Jack is kind of realizing that he maybe has feelings for Hawk too, but he also doesn't want to mess up his friendship with Hawk's brother. It's so sweet, and not to mention that Hawk is a Pride and Prejudice fanboy, and he is a ginormous reader, so he reads everything Pride and Prejudice related, and he is so sweet, and just, this is such a great rom-com for summer. Next up I have something a little bit darker, and that's going to be Summer Sons. This is one of the best queer horror books that I think I've ever read, and it's just unhinged and southern gothic, fast cars, drugs, supernatural stuff happening, and it is fantastic. So this is one of my favorite books from 2023, and it blew my mind. It was just so fantastic, and it's one that I would highly recommend. Next up I have another summer horror book, and that's going to be Into the Drowning Deep. This is a science fiction fantasy horror crossover, and it's fantastic. Do you like Little Mermaid? Do you wish it was a little bit more murder mermaids? This is the one for you. So when this book starts out, it's already about 10 years after this ship had gone out to film a mockumentary about mermaids, and everybody on that first ship died, and there was nobody left alive, and like there was some weird stuff going down. So 10 years later, they're sending out another boat to actually see if there are real mermaids, and things start going wrong almost immediately because mermaids are real, but they're not this sweet, innocent, like Little Mermaid mermaids. These are mermaids that will eat your face off. And the science that goes into this book is so fantastic, and it just screams like summer horror and everything going wrong, but also like Mira Grant or Shauna McGuire is one of my favorite authors anyway, but this book was just like chef's kiss, so good. So now I've got a couple lighter reads for you. The first up is The Deep and Dark Blue. This is following twins Hawk and Grayson, who are having to flee for their lives after a coup on their family, and they find shelter in a convent where they can learn magic and sword fighting. Grayson can be themselves. So Grayson becomes Grace, who she feels so much better than she ever did as Grayson, and she feels like she actually has a place, and she's learning magic and how to be herself. And this is just such a lovely read, especially if you're looking for something that is a queer book and it's featuring a trans main character, and it's just so good, and it's such an adventure in like finding yourself, finding who you really are. It's just so good, and it's one that's perfect for summer because it's short and it's got these summery vibes, and like the color palette for this whole book is so pretty. It's a perfect read for summer. And then the last book I have to recommend for a summer read is going to be the Nimona graphic novel. So this is following Nimona, who is a shape-shifting girl, and it's also following Lord Blackheart, who is a former knight, and like Nimona just kind of becomes his sidekick, and he's just like, why are you here? And basically Nimona adopts herself. And it's also following Ambrosius, who is a knight and Lord Blackheart's former flame as they kind of have these battles and they try to, like, Lord Blackheart tries to clear his name, and it's so good, and it's just such a fun graphic novel, especially for summer. And when you finish this, you can dive into the movie that's on Netflix, which is a pretty faithful adaptation of this, and it's just so good. Alright, so those are some of my summer reading recommendations. Do you guys have any books you'd like to recommend for a summer read? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!